Hello and welcome to Alphie the Lobster channel.
Hey, it's Ken here for Alphie the Lobster. And this channel is going to be about architecture and design, but I don't have a ton of content up yet. The weather's been really bad, and also I'm on lockdown, which is why I still have a scruffy beard, and I'm wearing my hat because I just they can't go out. Anyway, Alphie's about architecture and design, and hopefully a lot more content in the future. But until I get a lot of stuff up, I hope you enjoy mine. But there's also a lot of people out there who have great content that I'd highly recommend. And of course, if you're watching YouTube at all, you know you got Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience, who is a great interviewer. He's not alt right, he's not alt left. He's just a guy interviewing people, and he asks a lot of good questions and lets them talk. I've seen everything from Bob Lazar to Elon Musk, and Joe somehow got Elon to smoke and drink one day, and he feels the same way about AI as I do. So anyway, Ron, we're simpatico, man. But he gets people to talk, and it's pretty amazing. Sometimes the interviews are 3 hours long, and so the Joe Rogan Experience is a great thing. Hopefully you'll check him out. There's also the history guy. Lance Geiger is amazing. He does really, really unusual history stuff. My favorite with him so far was when I learned about ketchup, which apparently came from Asia, and wasn't made with tomatoes. So anyway, he's great. Highly recommend him. He's great for the kids or young kids because it's different stuff than you're going to get in school, that's for sure. And then there's my buddy Scott Manley. I love him. He is a space guy through and through. And so if you want to keep up with what's happening in space with like SpaceX or what NASA, it's not NASA anymore, but what they're doing to get to space, Blue Origin, he's always covering stuff. He's also talking about the technology behind it. So you'll learn a lot from that. And he's great. And he sometimes has similar content to what would be on The Vintage Space, which is what that channel's called. So anyway, Scott Manley's channel is called Scott Manley, and The Vintage Space channel, or The Vintage Space, Amy Shearer Teetle? I probably said it wrong. Now I'm so embarrassed. But she's wonderful too. She loves, it's vintage space because it's been 50 years since we landed on the moon. And again, you'll get some really, really good coverage from her, and she has much better lighting than I do. So you can see her eyes, and she just does a smashing job. Moving on, I like heavy metal. So what would heavy metal be? Well, in this instance, it's tanks, and it's also battleships. So if you're interested in tanks, there's the Chieftain. He goes all the time to Boddington Tank Museum in England, and he goes around outside of the tank, the inside of the tank. You're going to learn everything you want to know about tanks. He's very well informed. Was a tanker himself. So I get to learn things like he was a TC, so I know the TC means tank commander, and I know that he served I know he served in M1s. Always he has really good information. Down to earth guy, always an interesting watch. And he's recently been working with Sophie Line, Sofiline, who is absolutely adorable and knows a lot about tanks. Not as much as Nick, but she's learning from him. And the best thing about her is her incredible enthusiasm. Like I said, she's adorable. You could see that she loves what she's doing. She loves heavy metal, tanks. So in the line of, as what Nick Moran would say, heavy metal that's floaty things, there's a channel called Drachinifel, Drachinifel, and he's a man of mystery. He just goes by that. He's from, I believe, England. And he tells the history of battleships pretty much. Also, you get stories on a lot of different types, histories of battles, and his commentary is insightful. It's accurate, and he always has a little bit of wit that's thrown in there periodically to put a smile on your face, so it's not dry. Also has one of the best intros I've ever seen. He calls his name channel Drachinifel, but it's the 5-minute guide to warships. But many times you'll get more than 5 minutes, and it's well worth watching. So moving on. There's also a guy who does physics, who has something called the Science Asylum, and his name's Nick Lucid. If you want to learn about physics, guy does a great job of simplifying things, and moreover, I was really excited to find out that he's confirmed a lot of theories that I've had since the 1980s, which blew me away. So if you want to find out why something is nothing or nothing is something, he's the channel to turn to. And that would also lead me to the physics girl, who I think also does a bang-up job, and she's also adorable, very enthusiastic. Her name is Diana Cowan, or Deanna. I'm sorry, Deanna. And they're the best. And there's many other channels out there to watch, but those are some of the ones I would recommend while you're waiting for my content to get a little bit more hefty. Looking forward to presenting more architecture to you as live as possible. Hopefully, if the channel takes off, I'm going to be able to get inside some of this stuff. And instead of just showing you pictures of the inside, some of the stuff's accessible, but the private homes, not so much. And maybe if they get popular, I can convince them to go on air with me. So keep good. Remember to, what they say on YouTube, I'm going to get used to this. Like, subscribe, share, smash the pound button, the bell button, because the bell button means you'll be notified of new posts. And oh my God, I just touched my face and I'm probably going to die. This apocalypse is really starting to get to me. So until I can make new content, please remember to try some of the other channels. And thanks for Alphie the Lobster. Tune in next week. Same lobster time, same lobster channel, and I'll be here in the lobster cave to talk to you then. Peace out.
Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.